end of another month. They always go by ridiculously quick, but this one especially. There's something about this month that was so fast. I can't believe it's already over. This was probably one of my worst reading months yet.
It was my worst reading month. I think it's because we were trying to do something different by picking each other's TBR for the month, and me not having control over what I read really had an impact on how much I was reading. I felt like I was in a slump the entire month.
Yeah.
Which is a little dramatic, but it was fun to pick each other's TBR. I just don't want to do it again.
Maybe next time we do like 2, not like 5 books worth.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I didn't even get to all of them.
We didn't finish. We didn't even finish what we chose for each other. I still have 1.5 books that I didn't get done.
So I still have 1. I'm halfway done with it. It's truly devious. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I could potentially finish it by the end of the month since we're recording a little bit early. But I have this, and I also have my monthly TBR cart pick, which was my Dark Vanessa, that I didn't even get to pick up yet. This month was also really busy for us. Basically, this wasn't a great reading month for us, but we are still going to go over all of the books that we did get to and share our ratings with you guys.
Starting off strong with our book club book for this month, we have Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. We both really loved this one.
I knew I would too, because Rock, Paper, Scissors, I will forever say, is one of my favorite Mystery October books.
I'm gonna want to read more of her writing after this one. I was a little worried going into it because this book is so popular, but I'm so pleasantly surprised with how it ended. This one was a mystery thriller based on Agatha Christie's And Then They Were None. We have the Darker family who are all meeting on a remote island for Nana's 80th birthday. They end up getting stranded there overnight, and someone starts picking off the Darker family one by one, and they have to figure out what's happening. It was so twisty and good.
I know early on while we were reading this book, we did predict one of the big twists. The ending was still really good. It had a really nice conclusion. I know a lot of people in the book club too were guessing really early on as well. So it just like confirmed for us that, okay, we all feel this way.
I know the other complaint that most people were talking about was that the writing was a little too wordy and too poetic for them. I really enjoyed that, so that's why I want to read more of her writing, but I think in the book club, the overall rating was a 3.8, which isn't bad. I'll take it. I feel like most people didn't see the ending coming, and even the ones that did, some of them liked it, some of them didn't, but I thought this one was just really fun to read with everyone.
We definitely both highly recommend this book. If you didn't get the chance to read with the Literal Besties Book Club and you want to, you can still join with the link in the description and you can see all of our chapter updates. I think it was a really fun time. I mean, it was also fun because like every single person in this family was horrible.
They were awful.
So we like were all hating on this family together. It was a fun time. So for the rest of the books, we did try to sort them through our most liked through least like. And my most liked book of the month was The Selection. I did give this 5 stars, which is crazy because I don't ever give anything 5 stars. This one was just so much fun. It was literally The Bachelor and The Hunger Games in one book. That's just right up my alley. It was the perfect amount of drama and romance and like trashiness, but it was so much fun the whole way through. I was like locked in. I never wanted to put the book down. I wanted to see what was gonna happen. It was so engaging. In this book, there's 35 girls who get sent to live in a palace and compete for the heart of gorgeous Prince Maxon. It's really fun because it's super beneficial for each of these girls. Some of their families come from poverty, so if they do end up with Prince Maxon, then that means their family is out of poverty, which is really interesting. I also really liked that there was actually a love triangle in this book because our main girlie had somebody that she was in love with before she got sent to Prince Maxon's palace, so that was really fun, and especially because I loved both men. Like I couldn't decide who I wanted her to be with, so I have to keep reading to find out who she's gonna pick, but I really enjoyed this one. I cannot believe I hadn't read it yet, so thank you for picking this one for me.
I did not think you gave it 5 stars.
Oh no, I gave it 5. It was so much fun. Fast-paced YA, I mean, come on. I knew it was 5 because I couldn't put it down. That is a 5-star read for me.
Okay. After Daisy Darker, my next highest rated book for the month was my Casey McQuiston One Last Stop. We did do a whole reading vlog, so I go more in depth while I'm reading this one, but I gave this one a 4.25, which isn't bad for a contemporary romance. romance. This is a queer rom-com, and in this book we are following August, who just moved to New York City. She just got a new apartment, a new job, and she takes the subway every day. Definitely an uneventful routine she falls into until she meets a girl named Jane on the train. This easily becomes the best part of every day, and as her crush for Jane forms, she starts to wonder if Jane is supposed to be here. It was a really funny rom-com that has time travel involved, so I think that was a really cool aspect they had in here. I do think it was just a little too long, like we talked about, and kind of dragged in the middle there. That's the only reason I didn't give it a higher rating, but I did really enjoy the characters, and the ending surprised me. So 4.25, it was solid. I do want to read more queer romances, and I'd be willing to read more Casey McQuiston.
So next for me is also my Casey McQuiston book. This is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I thought it was so funny because we did do a reading vlog for this, and we were noticing a lot of similarities. The beginning was really good. The middle kind of slowed down a little bit. There was a lot of extra characters that we were reading about that kind of distracted us from the main plot of the story. But then it picked up again at the end. I think the only reason I didn't give it a 4 was because I felt like the middle was dragging a lot, and we got a little bit too much of extra political things happening in this book. Y'all know what this is about. This is the President of the United States' son is gonna start dating the Prince of Wales, so you get that really fun banter. I really liked that, and I loved their romance. The romance was so sweet and genuine and like wholesome. It was like these people are in love. Like, it was just really cute. Their romance was really cute. I loved that they kept talking about Texas because, you know, we're Texas girlies. I do wish they would have had a little bit more of that enemy banter, because this is labeled as enemies to lovers because they do come from like 2 completely different political backgrounds. So I was really wanting that back and forth, the banter. It was missing that, and I really wanted that. It was kind of a little bit of an insta love, like they hung out one time and they were like, oh yeah, you're not that bad, you know? And I wanted it to just drag out a little bit more, but overall it was still a really fun time. The ending was so good. It made me tear up. I felt like we had been through so much with these characters. I have been seeing a lot of buzz about the movie coming out. It will be coming out August 11th, so pretty soon. I'll definitely be watching it.
Up next, I have my blind book pick, and it was Dark Shores by Danielle L. Jensen. I will say I was a bit disappointed with this one. In this book, we have an east and a west, but either side doesn't know that the other exists. We are following Tariana, and she is one of the Marn people. They are the only group of people that know about both sides and can travel between them. Basically, there's a new emperor, and he kidnaps and threatens Tariana and her crew, and he forces them to show him the other side so they're able to conquer it. He sends this soldier named Marcus to do his dirty work, so we get both Marcus and Tariana's point of view. I just assumed, since I loved The Bridge Kingdom by this author, that I would love her pirate book series. That just wasn't the case here. Throughout the whole book, I was expecting a lot more adventure, found family romance, and while we did get a little bit of that, most of the story felt very political. And with the lack of world building in this, I didn't care enough about the world to be invested in the politics, so I think that created a huge divide. I will say though, I did like the characters, and the ending is when it really picked up. I just don't think I like the story enough to read 3 more books of this. I think this could have been a standalone and it would have been solid. I did give it a 3-star, but I think this is one of those times that's kind of just a wake-up call for me, where not only do I need to stop buying full series before I read the first one, but also just because I like some work by an author doesn't necessarily mean I'll like everything they've put out.
The next one I have is Finley Donovan Knocks Him Dead by Elle Cosimano. The first book, Finley Donovan is Killing It, ended on such a cliffhanger that I'm surprised I didn't pick this up for myself. This one was still so much fun. It still had that cozy suburban mom mystery going on, but I could right away tell that I liked the mystery more in the first book than in this one. I still really did enjoy our main characters' friendship, Finley and Burrow. They are super ride or die for each other. Their friendship is a lot of fun to read about. This one did also leave on a cliffhanger, but again, I liked the cliffhanger more on the first one. I do think I will still pick up that 3rd book. I don't think there's gonna be a 4th one. Let me know. I gave this one a 3.5. Still super solid, super fun, fast paced. I still do recommend this series.
You guys, I promise I don't hate mystery thrillers, okay? I hate coming on here every wrap up bashing whatever mystery thriller I read for that month, but I'm about to do it. So I read Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris this month, and I just didn't like it. Hear me out though, I think it's just her writing I didn't love, which is okay. In this story, we are in Grace's point of view, and I did not like her. She is married to Jack, and they're basically the perfect couple. They're the one with the perfect house, the perfect relationship, and they're known as like that couple to everyone else in the neighborhood. We are jumping from past to present throughout the whole story, so we're learning how they met, how they came to be, and now we're seeing that not everything is what it seems and everything that's going on behind closed doors. This book has phenomenal reviews on Goodreads, and I think that's why maybe I went into it with too high expectations.
I liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars.
Oh, well, I just felt the characters lacked a lot of depth, and even though the storyline was solid, so many aspects felt underdeveloped. I also think me not loving the main character did create a huge disconnect from the beginning. It did read really fast though, and it was a solid ending. That's why I gave it a 3, but I definitely don't personally think it deserves all the hype that it gets. I promise I like mystery thrillers. I'm just waiting to find an author that I really, really love.
The next book I have is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Wong. This one was super popular in the beginning of our reading journey, so I did have really high hopes for it. It was a really cute and fun rom-com, and I absolutely loved the autism representation in this book. I loved learning about Asperger's because I didn't really know much before it, but I kind of feel like I do know a little something now.
We love it when you learn something.
I love when I learn something in books. So our main character Stella does have Asperger's, so she does talk about how she doesn't have great connections with people and she has a really hard time connecting with anyone. So she ends up hiring this guy to try and help her learn how to connect, but in an adult way. That was really fun to read about, but something that I didn't like was that it was kind of insta-love, and that's one of my like book pet peeves. I just don't like that. Both characters had their own problems that they were going through, so it did keep it interesting, but I will admit I was expecting a little bit more from the romance. I think I just didn't love that it was an insta-love romance. I love to read banter. I love that back and forth build-up, and I just don't like when books lack that. There was also a little bit of miscommunication, which, you know, I don't love that either. So I think that was why I gave this book a 3.5 stars. I think it was really just the tropes in this book. I think the writing was good. I thought it was entertaining. It was just, I didn't love the main tropes in here.
She's got more books though.
Yeah, I think I would definitely read another book by her and try something else out.
So if I made you mad with my last review, buckle up, because I know this one is a lot of people's favorite book and a lot of you guys were waiting for me to read it. I just feel like so many books are hit or miss, and this one was just a miss, unfortunately. But it was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I did say it all in my Goodreads review, but I just was very disappointed in this one. We are following Scarlett, and she lives with her sister Donatella and their abusive father. Scarlett has been obsessed with Caraval her entire life. Her grandma told her stories about it growing up, and just how it's like this big magical competition where the audience are the participants. This is an event that only happens once a year, and you have to be invited. So Scarlett, every year since she was a little girl, was writing to the leader, like asking, can I please be a part of Caraval? Like, it's my dream. He's never written back. She's about to be married off now. She's a lot older, and she finally receives her invitation. This seems to be a good opportunity for her to get out of the life that she's about to get into. She's very skeptical about it. They end up going, and once she gets there, things take a turn when Scarlett realizes that this year's challenge involved her sister Tella getting kidnapped, and the entire mystery is finding out where Tella is. It sounded fantastic. I was so excited to read it. I think I was just expecting a really big, glamorous, mysterious competition where we were gonna read about uncovering the mystery and who's gonna find Tella first, and we just really didn't get a lot of that. It was more about Scarlett and being in her head and like trying to figure out her internal struggles, and I just found it infuriating. I did not like Scarlett. I hated being in her mind. All of her inner monologues were so repetitive. Like, it just really took me out of the story. The whole time I kept waiting to get sucked into the story, and that just never happened. Everything felt so underwhelming, and I shouldn't be sitting here after I finished a book wondering what the entire point of it was. I felt like the ending was so bad and so ridiculous that I was mad that I had to sit through this. Like, what was the whole point of the game then, if that's how you're gonna end it? I just really wasn't a fan. I don't know if I would have read this earlier in my reading journey if I would have liked it more. A lot of people have said that they read this like a long time ago, so I don't know if that's why the reviews are so good or if this one just wasn't my cup of tea, but I definitely can't see myself reading the rest of the series. I know a lot of people were saying that book 2 gets way better. I don't think I like any of the characters enough to want to continue to read it, but I mean, maybe someone force me. Like, if it's fantastic, the rest of the series, force me in the comments to read it and maybe I'll pick it up, but this one was just super disappointing. I couldn't connect to it, and that's that. I think I gave it a 2.5, and you're welcome. Sorry to end this video on such a bad note.
But we love your honesty.
Oh, we love the honesty around here. Yeah. Give me the honest truth, but nice.
Yes. Okay, well, that is unfortunately all of the books that we read this month. I will still be reading Truly Devious. I hope I can finish it. I was struggling in the beginning. I think I'm just starting to get into a part where like things are about to start happening. So that's gonna be the last bad month we have.
That was us. We tried something new. It was a good time, but we know not to do it anymore. Next month, it will be 10 times better. On Friday, we do have our June TBR coming out, which is insane. We're already halfway through 2023.
It's already gonna be Christmas.
It's basically already Halloween. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to join our book club if you haven't already. June's about to kick off and we've got a new book we're reading. We're gonna be reading Fourth Wing and we're really excited about it. It seems to be sold out a lot of places because of its popularity right now. They're on Amazon. It'll just get here a little late. You can get it from your library, ebook, things like that. We'll talk about it more in our TBR, but definitely join if you haven't yet. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already as well, and we will see you next time.
You gave it a 4.25?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I did give this one a 3.75. Ew, how annoying of me. That is so annoying. I should have just done a 4. Y'all know what this is about. This is the President of the United States' son dates the Prince of Wales.
Okay, say that like you're sure though. They did that in Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging.
What the f is that?
You never saw that movie on Nickelodeon?
No. Nickelodeon?
Oh my god, you haven't lived. It's UK. You don't remember the opening? She's like running home because she went to a costume party and she dressed up like an olive. She's like really embarrassed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We gotta watch it tonight.
So our main character Stella does have so our main character
Yeah.
So I'm
I spoke too soon. Oh, what you shaking?
that is so sad because I thought it sounded amazing.
It still sounds amazing. I would love to read a book about what this summary says.
And I still have to read My Dark Vanessa. I haven't even picked that one up yet, but that is okay because I'm going to drag her with me. Not drag her.
She's been through enough.
You're right.
We've got a new book we're reading. We're gonna be reading Fourth Wing. Good luck finding it. They're sold out everywhere. Okay, no.
Oh yeah, these were all blue books. Not that y'all care. These all blue. Yeah.